Well, folks, things are looking grim for the Afghan National Congress. News 24 runs a story this morning. The ANC's national operations are paralyzed. Ramakopa goes to court to unfreeze party accounts. It seems we didn't hear much about the party's bank accounts being frozen when the sheriff of the court went to freeze and gather assets from the Thule House recently. ANC Treasurer General Gwen Ramakopa said the freezing of the party's bank accounts had paralyzed its operations as it prepares to challenge the court ruling in a Gauteng High Court next week. Gee, I wonder what's going on here. The freezing of the ANC's bank accounts over alleged debt to Ezuani Investments has thrown the ANC into financial and operational crisis, says News 24. But it's not alleged debt. There's no alleged. Multiple court rulings have said it's a legitimate debt and the ANC owes the money. And the sheriff of the High Court wouldn't have seized assets if it was a legitimate debt. Alleged debt. It's a debt. Oh my. So no money to win by-elections? No cash to buy T-shirts and KFC three-piece Streetwise meals to hand out to voters? So you're telling me that the ANC can't buy voter sympathy now? This can't be good for the Thule House. Gwen Ramakopa, the ANC's Treasurer General, argues that this is not just a financial issue, but an attack on the party's operational capacity, democratic role, and its credibility. Folks, only the African National Congress can welch on a debt, fail to pay its creditors despite court rulings against it, kick the ball down the road for 6 years, and then comically claim it's under attack. Never mind the ludicrous claim that the party has a democratic role. The only part of Ramakopa's statement that is accurate is that the party lacks credibility. But contrary to her claims, it is not because the party is under attack. Rather, the ANC is a deadbeat client. No wonder the ANC is championing African debt relief. The Thule House doesn't even pay its own bills. They would love the concept of debt relief. It would certainly help them here. Now, News 24's Amanda Closer reports that the freezing of the ANC's bank accounts following a court decision related to its alleged debt to Ezuani Investments has plunged the party into an unprecedented financial and operational crisis. Here we are again with that term, alleged. Now, I don't know if this is from the author, the journalist, Amanda, or it's her editors at News 24. But why are you saying alleged when the courts have multiple times said the debt is genuine? It's not alleged. That's like using quotes to describe refugees to America. They're not, quote, refugees. They're actual refugees. And it's an actual debt. So what exactly does this mean, folks? Will it cut into the ANC elite's privileged perks, or does it have a tangible impact that will hamper the party's attempt to lure voters with empty promises and race hustling? Now, faced with what it describes as an existential threat, the African National Congress is set to urgently challenge the court's ruling in the Gauteng High Court in Johannesburg on Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. Existential threat? Sounds a bit like hyperbole to me. I mean, the ANC is not going away. Its deep-pocketed white monopoly capital enablers will not let that happen. Gwen Ramakopa, as I mentioned, the ANC's Treasurer General, argues the situation is not just a financial dispute, but a direct attack on the party's operational capacity, its reputation, and its democratic responsibilities. I've already mentioned that. She mentioned it a couple of times. The ANC's entire national operation has been paralyzed by the freezing of its bank accounts. No! Oh my goodness, the ANC is paralyzed. Good. That's fantastic news for South Africans, no? Now, folks, little backdrop to this. Earlier this month, the sheriff of the court confiscated the Thule House office furniture, computer equipment, and appliances valued at approximately 140,000 rand to help settle the remaining 85 million in debt the ANC owes to Ezuani from services that it provided for the ANC's 2019 election campaign 6 years ago. In addition to the movable assets, the sheriff also froze the ANC's bank accounts, something that the media didn't highlight. The party cannot access funds in the accounts until the debt is recovered, and any funds that are in the accounts can be settled to use the debt. Wow. So why hasn't the ANC paid this debt? And why did the media breathlessly, in advance of the 2024 national elections, falsely report that this debt had been settled? Because Fikile Mbalula told them? Did they bother to do any further investigation? I mean, these are media houses. I mean, after all, News 24 gets 80 million hits. Oh, yeah, they're like the top news site in South Africa, part of a major media outlet, Media 24. And their Afrikaans sister network, Netwerk 24, gets 74 million hits. That's a lot of hits. They're the number one news source. And they're proud of their investigative journalism, as they should be in some cases, like the Babito de Coran investigation in Tembisa Hospital. But why haven't they exposed this previously? Where was their investigative journalism with the people on the ground, the boots on the ground, the resources, the money, the access, the contacts to all the political parties, to the courts, to the police? Why weren't they asking this question and following up since December of 2023? Nearly 2 years ago. 22 months ago. For 22 months, we've been misled that the ANC paid their debt. And Bezuidenhout has not made a big stink about this publicly. They haven't been in the press writing op-eds and screaming that they've been denied the money that they're owed. So where has been this investigative journalism that News 24 is so proud of? And what of IOL, Daily Maverick? They have that Abu Ghani, that investigative process that they have. Where's the investigation here? Could it be because it's the ANC that will look bad? Because the ANC is the one who welched on the debt and these media houses are afraid, unwilling to report negative things about the ANC? Or are they complicit with the ANC? I don't know. What's the reason? Just conjecture and speculation. We don't know. But if they were true investigative journalists, they would have asked this question. I have no access to the court. I have no access to the politicians that they have access to. So I can't answer those questions. I can only ask them. And maybe somebody will step forward, a whistleblower. But here we are, nearly 2 years later, after the ANC supposedly paid this debt, which Fikile Mabalula apparently lied to the public about. I mean, he was the guy that told us. Maybe it wasn't Fikile. Who was it? Somebody in the ANC told us it was paid. And all the media breathlessly said the bill was paid. But no one, and I asked this question at the time, and no one's answered this question to this date. How did they pay for the 102 million rand that they owed, plus the 50 million rand in interest and penalties, plus 20 million rand spent for the birthday party at Umbumbela Stadium in Nelspruit, plus they had an election campaign. The money that is reported to the Independent Electoral Commission from the Batu Royal Trust and Chancellor House and a few others doesn't even come close to covering all those expenses. Not even a fraction of that. So why isn't the ANC reporting all the income that it receives? This is in violation of South African election law. Probably that's why Ramaphosa wanted to change the law, so the reporting thresholds were much higher, because the ANC obviously has received a lot of money that they haven't disclosed. It's simple math, folks. It's not rocket science. Anyway, according to News 24's Amanda Kosa, the ANC is in deep trouble. It can't access its bank accounts. So its deep-pocketed enablers are going to have to step forward and pay its bills for the foreseeable future. What say you, South Africa? Mzansi? Cheers.